All right, now it's time for our Around the World segment. We turn back to Greece, where President Obama stopped yesterday on his final international victory lap before he's out of office. To nobody's surprise, during his press conference in Greece, Obama returned to his old rhetoric, hacking Republicans in Congress for obstructing his policies. We talked about that earlier. And accusing President-elect Donald Trump of playing to racist fringe groups and America's fear of globalization. Take a look.
Because I think I can make a pretty strong argument that the policies we put forward were the right ones, that we've grown faster than just about any advanced economy. The country is indisputably better off, and those folks who voted for the president-elect are better off than they were when I came into office, for the most part. But we'll see whether those facts affect people's calculations in the next election.
Joining me now is global risk analyst John Sitilides. John, good to see you.
Great to be with you, Liz.
All right, John, you heard the president in that clip right there. He said that people are better off after the policies that he's instituted here in the United States, but that actually comes in contrast to a study, a poll actually, a survey of the American people. Only 3 in 10, that's 30%, 3 in 10 of the American people feel they're better off financially, economically, in regards to their security than when President Obama took office.
Well, the Electoral College, Liz, also makes clear that a majority of Americans in a majority of states in the United States rejected those policies and voted for the candidate of the opposite party. And one of the leading indicators going into Election Day was that I think it was about 64 to 68% of the American people thought the country was on the wrong track. And this has been a consistent level of concern about the American economy and about our stature around the world for quite some time. So I think it will be helpful when the president returns to the United States to take a good, realistic look at a lot of the data and a lot of the sentiment that was out there and better understand what happened on Election Day.
Right, or just look at the results from election night. That tells you something, too. John, President Obama praised Greek leaders for their efforts, he said, to reform an obsolete economy in Greece. John, I do not understand that compliment. What is there to praise about the Greek economy here? They had to be bailed out.
The Greek people have done a tremendous job, Liz, of enduring what has been a horrific series of government policies due largely to profligacy and clientelism and nepotism for quite some time in Greece, coupled with some of the most disastrous, quote-unquote, aid packaging that Germany and the Eurozone could possibly provide to a country like Greece. They should have been promoting pro-growth policies dating back to 2009 and 2010 when they discovered just how problematic Greece's economy and fiscal condition was.
Right.
Instead, they basically crippled the economy, put it into an economic depression, much like that the United States suffered in the 1930s, and the Greeks are begging for debt relief that the Germans and the Eurozone simply won't provide until they reform their economy.
Right, and Greek officials, the authorities are saying that the only way for them to fully recover from this, and first I'd like to just share some numbers, that the Greek economy has shrunk 25% during the past 7 years, and their national debt is 180% of their national output right now. But the Greek authorities say that the only lasting solution to this, the only long-term solution would be debt restructuring. John, talk to me about that.
I don't believe that's the case, Liz. What the Greek government needs to do is to talk very honestly to the Greek people and explain that the way the Greek economy has run for years and decades is the reason that Greece is in the situation that it's in. They need to fundamentally restructure and reform their economy legally, socially, productivity-wise, labor flexibility-wise, make it more competitive, and incentivize foreign direct investment. And the government has done very little of this to date, unfortunately, and they're looking to see if there might be a scapegoat outside the country. Even if Greece hadn't gone through this crisis, these reforms would be good for the Greek nation and the Greek people, but the leadership, unfortunately, has undertaken not to move in that direction. That's the hub of the problem.
Right, and I think that's something that President Obama missed in his speech yesterday, which would have been a fantastic opportunity for him to talk about that.